The dimly lit parking lot outside the roadhouse was nearly empty, save for a few scattered cars and the rumble of distant motorcycles. Veteran Alex Grayson had only stopped for a quick drink to unwind after a long day working construction, but as he stepped outside into the cool night air, he heard raised voices. By the time he rounded the corner, he saw them. A group of leather-clad bikers surrounding a young woman, their laughter sharp and menacing. She was pinned against her car, her voice trembling as she tried to reason with them. "Come on, sweetheart," one of them said, leaning closer. "Just a little fun." Alex's military instincts kicked in before he could think. "That's enough," he barked, his voice low but firm. The bikers turned as one, sizing him up. The leader, a man with a scar running down his cheek, sneered. "Who the hell are you?" Alex stepped forward, his hands clenched into fists. "Let her go. Now." The leader stared him down for a moment before smirking and motioning for his crew to back off. "You've got guts, old man," he said, "but you just made a big mistake." Alex didn't think much of it at first. The woman had thanked him profusely before driving off, and he went home feeling like he'd done the right thing. But by the next morning, he realized his problems were just beginning. His truck's windshield was shattered, the word "dead man" scrawled across the hood in red spray paint. He called the police, but their response was disheartening. "Biker gangs aren't exactly cooperative," the officer said. "Maybe just lay low for a while." Lay low? Alex had spent years in combat zones. He wasn't about to be intimidated by a bunch of thugs. But this wasn't a battlefield, and he was fighting alone. The threats escalated quickly. The gang started showing up wherever Alex went. They loitered outside the hardware store where he worked, their eyes drilling into him as he loaded his truck. His front porch was defaced with crude drawings of skulls and flames. His mailbox was smashed. Once, he found a dead rat stuffed into the engine of his truck. Each incident chipped away at his resolve. Nights became sleepless as his PTSD flared, every shadow and creak in the house sending his heart racing. One evening, as Alex sat on his porch with a cold beer, trying to steady his nerves, the sound of engines broke the silence. Headlights appeared at the end of his driveway, half a dozen motorcycles revving ominously. The leader, Scarface, dismounted and sauntered toward him. "We warned you," Scarface said, his grin full of malice. "But you just couldn't mind your own business?" Alex stood, his jaw tight. "You don't scare me." Scarface's grin widened. "We're not trying to scare you, soldier. We're just getting started." The bikers roared off into the night, leaving Alex with the sinking feeling that they meant every word. It wasn't long before Alex felt like a prisoner in his own home. He barely left the house, jumping at every sound, his nightmares blending with his waking fears. He tried calling the young woman he'd helped, hoping for some solidarity, but her phone went straight to voicemail. Even his few friends in town began distancing themselves, unwilling to risk becoming the gang's next targets. Alex was alone. The final encounter came late one night as Alex drove home from a trip to the grocery store. He hadn't wanted to go out, but he was running low on supplies and couldn't avoid it any longer. The highway was empty, the darkness pressing in on all sides. Then he saw the headlights. They appeared in his rearview mirror, growing closer at an alarming speed. Alex gripped the wheel tightly, his pulse pounding. The first hit came hard, a motorcycle ramming into his bumper. His truck swerved, tires screeching as he fought to regain control. Then another hit, this time from the side. "Damn it!" Alex muttered, his knuckles white as he tried to outrun them. But the gang was relentless. They boxed him in, forcing him toward the shoulder. The last thing Alex remembered was the sound of metal crunching and the world flipping upside down. Days later, a highway patrol officer spotted the wreckage of Alex's truck at the bottom of a ravine. The vehicle was mangled, its windows shattered, and the cab empty. Alex was gone. The only thing left behind was a pair of dog tags, glinting in the sunlight where they hung from the rearview mirror. The investigation went nowhere. The local police chalked it up to an accident, citing the dangerous curves of the highway. But the townsfolk knew better. They whispered about the Iron Devils, about how they always got their revenge. And somewhere, deep in the woods or buried under the desert sands, Alex's fate remained a mystery. Another casualty in a war no one wanted to fight. The end. Let me know your thoughts.